Hi everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. I wanted to thank everybody for joining us today. This is the weekly Google and Education webinar. It'll last about 45 minutes. My name is Kristen Kollick, and I'm on the Google for Education team. So first, for a bit of housekeeping, everyone has been muted so as to not interfere with the audio. We'll have some time at the end of the presentation for questions and answers. So I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to ask questions. If you have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to chat those into the GoToWebinar chat bar, and I'll make sure to address them at the end. So first, for a brief agenda, today's webinar is going to cover Google's mission in education, centering on open technology to improve learning. We'll also talk about the Google education offering to schools, including the platform, devices, and content. And then finally, we'll open it up for the questions and answers. So again, if you have any questions, please chat those into the WebEx chat bar, and we'll take some time at the end to address them. So here on the Google for Education team, we think about this number a lot. But what is 60%? 60% is the percentage of students today who are going to have careers that don't exist yet. So if you think about it, many of the technology roles that you and I have didn't exist when we were in school. So when I was a student, there were no Google for Education account managers. There was no Google for Education. Chromebooks and tablets didn't even exist when I was a student. And this isn't just true of technology roles. Many non-tech roles have changed dramatically as well. And that's generally as the result of the adoption of technology. Because the way that we research and collaborate and disseminate information has already evolved and will continue to change. So conventional thinking on education is no longer enough, and we need to change that as well. We really need to teach our kids the tools to be successful. So how to collaborate, how to research, to organize information, to formulate an argument, etc. Because in many ways, technology has already transformed the way that we communicate and participate and experience the world. Technology helps to remove barriers. When I was growing up, if I wanted to research a certain topic, I went to the library. And in many instances, the entry in the encyclopedia was my only source of information. And once I had finished the article, I was done. But technology has opened up new worlds of information for today's students. They have the ability to explore and to learn more deeply. So this slide shows just a few examples of how technology is changing our world. The first image is indicative of one of our Google schools, Fort Sam Houston in Texas, that serves a very heavily military population. Fort Sam Houston chose to go with Google Apps and with Chromebooks because it enabled their parents to stay connected to their students even when they were deployed overseas. Additionally, technology allows for other stakeholders to be involved in education. So the second picture shows how you can use Google Plus Hangouts to bring experts into the classroom. So for instance, you could bring in a local political figure to speak to a government class, or have a surgeon talk to biology students. You also might recognize the third image there. It's Georges Seurat's A Sunday on the Grand Jeté, which is typically housed in the Art Institute of Chicago. But like most of your students, I've never had a chance to go to the Art Institute. But now we all can. Google has taken high-resolution photos of these paintings as part of the Google Art Project. So we're now able to zoom in on this painting and study the details that led to the pointillism movement without actually seeing the painting in person. And similarly, we don't all have the luxury of traveling to the Galapagos to learn about sea turtles. I wish we could. But all of us are able to open up Chrome on any device and travel with Maps Trek to explore and to learn about these islands and other places around the world. So what can we do to help transform education? Google's mission is to organize the world's information and to make it universally accessible and useful. And here on the Google for Education team, we believe that open technology is the key to improving education. So what does it mean for a school to go Google? We asked our Google schools, and they told us that it's about more than just technology. It's about adopting a culture that extends beyond the classroom walls. It's about openness and curiosity and working together. So going Google means 4 things. It's about empowerment, helping students to discover a world of infinite resources. And it's about choice, being able to use the right device anytime, anywhere. And it's about teamwork, having students and teachers and parents able to work together in real time. And it's about scalability, bringing in technology that's affordable and easy to manage. So I wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk more about each of these. So firstly, on empowerment. When you have access to digital content, it empowers students and gives teachers the tools for individualized learning. And it's important to help students discover that world of infinite resources and to change the role of the teacher from a lecturer who disseminates information to a facilitator who coaches and supports students as they explore the information accessible to them to solve real-world problems. And secondly, Google believes in giving schools choice, so the ability to use the right device anytime, anywhere. Because what good is information if it's not accessible in the classroom? Teachers can only change the way that they teach if students have reliable access to a device. So we want teachers to be able to use the right device, whether that be a laptop or a tablet or a phone or a desktop, and to be able to use that device in school, at home, or on the go. So we think that a student's information and a learning environment should be easy to access and secure, regardless of where they're accessing from. So basically, we want the technology to get out of the way so that students and teachers can focus on content and on working together. So with that in mind, Google Solutions work across many platforms so that schools can use their existing equipment and keep options open as they commit to new device deployments. So next, going Google is about teamwork. Teachers tell us that being able to work together in real time using Google Apps is the most profound change in the way that they teach and in the way that their students learn. Because collaboration fosters teamwork and problem solving and organization, which are key skills for the modern world. So how can you take that collaboration to the next level with real-time, across the world, anytime, anywhere access? One way is with Google Docs, where multiple students can work together in the same document at the same time. And this ends up making schoolwork more like real work. So students learn more by working with a set of classmates that have diverse perspectives. And they learn how to get group work done, to decide who's the leader, who's the editor, who has the right to change what work. And these are the discussions that they're going to have whenever they go off to university and whenever they enter the professional world. Finally, going Google is about scale. It's about having technology that's affordable and easy to manage. Because with a school's budget, the price of a device matters, because low-cost solutions give more students an opportunity to go Google. But scalability and device and content management are equally important to help keep total cost of ownership low, which allows IT teams to manage the surge in device deployment. So Google makes devices that are quick and easy to set up and manage. So with Google Apps for Education as the foundation, it's easy to manage 10 or 10,000 devices with our administrative tools. You can set up a whole classroom with tablets or Chromebooks in a matter of minutes. And because our devices are intuitive to use, students get up and running on them quickly. And there's no need to run around troubleshooting to every classroom. And with 24/7 online and phone support, Google can help out if there are any challenges. So these are the sorts of offerings that means you can easily scale your IT and keep that total cost of ownership low. So let's talk about what Google has to offer in education. Because technology can help transform education, but we need to not forget that real change requires people, and people oftentimes need help to change. So Google makes this transition easy by making the technology feel invisible and out of the way. So we do this by making it simple and secure, and by making it seamless across the core platform the devices that you use to access that platform, and then the content you use on those devices. So we think this approach sets us apart from competitors that focus on maybe one or two of these key areas, but leave you to deal with the gap. So how can you start to go Google? So firstly, we offer schools a free suite of services through Google Apps for Education. So these include Gmail as your email service provider, and then a suite of productivity tools through Google Drive, like docs and spreadsheets and presentations for content creation. And since all of these Google Apps for Education are web-based, it means that they're available from any device with a web browser. And they're great for collaborating because multiple people can be creating and editing at the same time. And Google Apps for Education are incredibly popular in schools. There are over 30 million Google Apps for Education users found in 180 different countries. And not only are Google Apps a powerful and transformative platform for schools, but the price is right. Google Apps for Education is 100% free to schools and without ads. So in addition to Google Apps for Education, we're excited to say that we now have many choices of devices for schools. So with several Chromebooks and the new Nexus 7 tablet with Google Play for Education, along with many upcoming tablets available for Google Play for Education, going one-to-one for schools is even easier. So in regards to the devices that Google offers, first I wanted to talk about Chromebooks, which are web-based computers that are great for schools because they're easy to use, they're easy to manage, they're easy to customize, and they're easy to scale. So with a Chromebook, a student opens up the lid, signs in, and are up and running in under 8 seconds, which allows your teachers to dedicate more of their valuable time towards instruction and instead of troubleshooting technology in the classroom. So when you're using Chromebooks, everything is stored on the web, so it doesn't matter which machine you use. So your student can sign into any Chromebook and are taken to the learning experience that you designed for them based on your curriculum goals. So the idea is for the technology to seem invisible in the classroom, just another tool. So Chromebooks are great because they're shareable and incredibly simple to use. And our Chromebook adopters say that they love them because they, quote unquote, just work. So we're now offering a wide range of Chromebook laptop devices through Samsung, Acer, Lenovo, several HP, and more. And the hardware specs on each of these devices is a little different. They're going to vary in terms of screen size, ports, weight, etc. But all of them are running the Chrome operating system. And all of them are managed through your Google Apps for Education account through using a Chromebook management license. So despite the differences in the hardware, the user experience and the management experience will be the same across devices. So let's talk a little bit more about that management experience because it's one of the critical differences with Chromebooks compared to other devices on the market. Chromebooks are incredibly easy to manage. So if you're in technology or if you talk to somebody from your tech department, you'll know that managing devices typically takes up a significant portion of their time. So buying licenses, installing software locally, setting up antivirus controls, continually checking to make sure those controls are running and updated, wiping and re-imaging your devices periodically. All of these things become very time-consuming and cost-intensive. But since Chromebooks are entirely web-based, it makes management a breeze. You're able to manage all of your devices through one centralized web page. And through this Chromebook management console, you're able to control the device settings and set security controls for all of your computers. So for instance, you can require that your students route through a proxy, regardless of where they're signed into a Chromebook. And you can specify who can use your devices, potentially locking it down so that only your students and your faculty can use Chromebooks. And then you can also easily push out web-based applications to your students through just a few clicks. And all of these controls within the Chromebook management console enable you to create a secure testing environment, which makes Chromebooks approved for PARC and for smarter balance testing. And Chromebooks also have multiple layers of security that are built into the devices, including sandboxing and verified boot. And then also as web-based devices, they're secure against malware and viruses, and they're forever fresh, which means when Google releases a new version of the Chrome operating system, which is typically about every 6 or 7 weeks, your Chromebooks will receive that new version. So you're always getting the updates and improvements to the operating system and to the management console. So in order to use the management console, you'll need to purchase a one-time license at $30, and you'll need one license for every Chromebook that you have. So if you'll bear with me for just a second, I'm going to hop out of the presentation and actually hop into the Chromebook management console to give you a live demo of how that works. So if you're a Google Apps for Education user, this should look familiar to you. This is the control panel for your Google Apps account. And if you're a Chromebook user, you're able to click here onto Device Management and click into Chrome to manage all of your Chrome books and Chrome user settings. So to start, I wanted to show a little bit about devices. When you go in and click on devices, it's going to show all of the Chromebooks that we've enrolled into this domain. And it also shows the number of Chromebooks that we have enrolled to the number of licenses that we've purchased. So in order to control device settings for these devices, we just need to click into Device Settings. And this is the tab where we're able to set security controls that will apply to all of the Chromebooks that we have enrolled. So for instance, here you're able to select whether or not guests are allowed to use your devices, or restrict who can sign into your devices, potentially locking it down to just your Google Apps for Education domain. There's also things that you can change about whether or not you want to show usernames or allow for public sessions within your Chromebooks. So another feature to the Chromebook management console is the ability to set user settings. So these are the controls that will apply to all users that sign into your Chromebooks, regardless of which device that they're using. So one of the most important things that you can do through the Chromebook user settings is control which applications your students have access. So if we click here on Manage Pre-installed Applications, you'll see the different places where we can find apps to use on the Chromebooks. The Chrome Web Store has thousands of applications that can be used in an educational setting, and we're able to push these out to our users in bulk. So let's say, for instance, that we have a class of students that are learning French. By just searching French in this bar, we end up pulling up all of the French applications that they could use. So I want to use Learn French Très Bien. So by clicking on Add and Save, I've now pushed that application out to all of my users in that group, and the next time they sign into a Chromebook, they'll have access to that application. And there are over 150 different features that can be controlled within the Chromebook management console, so I wanted to highlight just a few during this presentation. But a lot of the user settings center around student security and user security. So allowing things like being able to set a screen lock, or allowing incognito mode, or saving browser history. There's also the ability to set security controls through your network, including having the Chromebook always route through a proxy, which means if you have a proxy server set up with different security controls, when your users sign into a Chromebook from any web connection, whether that be at school, at home, or at Starbucks down the street, they'll be routed through that proxy and have those security controls apply to them. So as we scroll through here, you'll see that there's a large number of features and security controls that you can set up through your Chromebook's management console. And by enabling certain security controls, you're able to use these devices for state testing, which is especially important if you're in a PARC or a Smarter Ballot state. So if you'll bear with me again for just a second, we'll hop back into the presentation. So we touched on this briefly whenever we were in the management console, but with Chromebooks, the primary source of content are Chrome web apps. And so they're web-based applications that run on the Chrome browser. And Google provides a wealth of online applications available through the Chrome Web Store. And there are thousands of different applications that span all different subject matters and grade levels. And so these web-based applications can be used on Chromebooks and on the Chrome browser if you're using a non-Chromebook device. If you haven't already, I really recommend visiting the Chrome Web Store and seeing the different applications that are available there. Some of our favorites include WeVideo, which is a web-based recording and video app, and then Typing Club that helps students improve typing skills that are so important to Common Core, and then content apps like Khan Academy and GeoGebra. And so all of these applications and thousands more are available entirely online without requiring any software download. And from the Chromebook Management Console, you're also able to install apps from our Chrome App Packs. So these are collections of popular Chrome applications that are categorized by elementary, middle school, and high school. And most of these apps are free, and the paid applications include a bulk discount. But you're able to push out the entirety of this app pack to your students through that management console. And one exciting piece of news is that last year in April of 2013, the whole country of Malaysia announced that they were going Google. And so they deployed Google Apps to 11 million parents and teachers and students and 100,000 Chromebooks nationwide for primary and secondary students. So this is just a really great example about how Chromebooks allow you the ability to manage devices and a platform at scale, scaling up to as many as 100,000 Chromebooks or more. So in addition to Chromebooks, we also help schools to go Google through tablet devices. Last November, Google expanded our device offering to include tablets with Google Play for Education. And this is a program that's open to K-12 schools in the U.S. And our team worked with schools to include that this solution of devices and content and management was truly designed for learning and made for the classroom. So some of the key benefits of the Tablets with Google Play for Education program is that we made it easy for schools to deploy devices into the classroom and then to discover strong educational content for teachers and students, and then to deliver that content, so deliver those apps and videos and books to the right users. So to gain access to these deployment and discovery and delivery features, you'll first need tablets approved for Google Play for Education. So at this point, we have one tablet that's available right now, and that's the Nexus 7 that starts at $229. But in the next few weeks and months, we'll also have an HP Slate, an Asus Transformer, and a new Samsung Galaxy that are also approved for the Google Play for Education program. So with all of these devices, with all of this hardware, you'll also need to purchase a $30 license that provides you with access to a setup application for deploying devices and with access to the Play for EDU site. And I'll cover these different features in more detail. So firstly, with the deployment piece, with the license for Google Play for Education, you're able to set up an entire classroom of tablets in a matter of minutes. So to do so, you have one tablet that's assigned as your administrator tablet, and you run a provisioner application on that tablet. And so to set up your other devices, you just pick up an empty device and you touch the two tablets together. We call it bumping. And through near-field communication, the student device is set up with your Wi-Fi network, with your user account information, and you just move on to the next tablet and are able to set up an entire classroom in a matter of minutes. But having a device that's set up is not enough. You also need strong educational content and an easy way to find it. So there are over 1 million applications in the Google Play Store. So that's the store where you and I can go to find Android applications to use on our Android phones and on our Android tablets. But with your license of Google Play for Education, you gain access to the Play for Education site. And this enables you to search for apps that are great for the classroom, because we've vetted them and approved them by other educators. So there are a couple of ways to discover apps on the Google Play for Education site. First, you're able to filter for specific apps by setting criteria like subject matter or grade level or Common Core standards, and whether or not the app is free. So whenever you filter like this, you're finding apps that have been teacher approved for the classroom. The second way to find content is to search within the search bar at the top. So if you type a keyword like subtraction in the search bar, you're going to find apps that have been teacher approved, as well as apps from those 1 million apps that are in the general Google Play site. So once you've found an app that you're interested in using, you can click on it to learn more details. And there's going to be an app description, as well as up to 3 different badges. And an EDU badge signifies that the app was approved by other educators who reviewed it for quality in the classroom. There's also an in-app free badge that means that the app does not allow purchases within the application. And then there's an ad-free badge that shows that the app does not contain advertisements. So once you've found an app that you want to use for your students and for teachers, the Google Play for Education site makes it easy to deliver it. So to send an app, you simply click on the app, select the number of licenses that you want, and then select the student's Google Apps for Education username, or select a Google group of students that you want to use the app. And that app is then automatically added to those students' tablets. And many of the apps within the Google Play for Education site are free, but if the app does have a cost associated to it, you can purchase easily through using a PO. So you just update the quantity of licenses that you want, and the total cost automatically updates. And you're able to pull against a blanket PO that your school has added to your Play for Education site. And in addition to Android apps, we recently expanded the content available to schools by adding book rentals to Google Play for Education. So the Play site contains a wide range of books, including some of my childhood favorites like Bridge to Terabithia or James and the Giant Peach. But there's also textbooks like Houghton Mifflin's Go Math or Journeys to the Common Core. And so these books are rented through the Google Play for Education site. You'll purchase limited time access that generally range from 60 to 360 days and assign that book to a specific student's username. So this helps keep the material fresh and interesting in the classroom because you can read books that your teachers and your students are interested in and not be obligated to read the ones that you happen to have sitting in the supply cabinet from 12 years ago. And once you've assigned a book to a username, that student is able to read it at school or at home or on any device where they're using the Google Play Reader. So they can take notes and look up vocabulary and even translate into foreign languages right from the reader. And whenever they log on to the next device, they're able to pick up where they left off. And with Google Play for Education, you can also discover approved YouTube videos. So when you type a keyword into the search bar of Google Play for Education, videos aimed at K through 12 are returned as part of the results. And all of these videos are from approved YouTube for Education channels. And then you're able to send those out to students and groups. So if you'll hold on for just a second, we'll hop into the Google Play for Education site. So as you'll see here, this is Google Play for Education. And you gain access to this site when you have a Google Play for Education license and when you're using Google Play approved tablets. So if you'll notice here on the home page, it's showing a lot of the different books that have been added into the Google Play site, as well as different applications sorted by category, for instance, in this case, STEM. But say we want to find specific content to use in the classroom. If I was a math teacher, I'd be able to click into this Mathematics tab and see a list of educator-recommended apps. So these are ones that, as you see through the EDU badge, have been approved for use in the classroom. So I can filter based on my grade level. So say I teach 3rd grade math, and this is going to update the applications to ones that are good for 3rd graders. I can also search based on types, whether that be apps or videos, whether or not the application is free versus paid, and then also for the intended usage, whether it's for a teacher or for instruction or for review and drill. Another really key point to the search capabilities is the ability to filter based on Common Core standard. So for 3rd grade math, it lists all the Common Core standards here. So let's say I want to find an application that allows me to teach multiply and divide within 100. By filtering here, it's now showing applications that apply to that category. So if I am interested in Math Evolve, if I click on that application, it's going to show me those different badges. So this particular application has been approved for education. It doesn't have any purchases within the app, and it also doesn't include any ads. So I can scroll down here to see a description of the application and talk a little bit more about the Common Core standards that apply to this app. So if I'm interested in purchasing this app, I can just go here to the $199 buy link, and if I have a classroom full of 26 students, I can reduce my quantity to 26, and it's updating the total cost here. Also, my district has added a PO to the my Google Play for Education site, so I'm able to just click on my Science, Technology, and Math PO. By hitting continue, I'll pay for 26 of those app licenses and distribute them out to my Google group of students, and they'll have access to those applications on their tablet. So another key piece here is the search bar. As mentioned in the slides, if you search for a keyword within this search bar, then it's going to not only pull up those educator recommended applications, but it's also going to pull up apps from Google Play at large. So this one hasn't been officially EDU approved. Perhaps the subtraction app is one that I want to install on my devices. So by clicking that install link, I'll be able to push that app out to my devices as well. I'm going to hop back into the slides and we'll finish up the last few minutes of the presentation before going to questions. So before launching Google Play for Education, we wanted to make sure that it was truly designed for learning and made for the classroom. So we launched the program to a few pilot schools, including Hillsborough in New Jersey. And one of our early pilot teachers, Megan Stives, stated that the students were so excited about their new tablets. She's amazed at how quickly they adapted to using them and handling them properly. My 4th grade resource math class uses them for multiplication and division practice, and it was very easy to send apps to their devices, which was fantastic. So in addition to providing you with curated content through the Google Play for Education site, we wanted to help schools get started with finding the top tools for students. So this 75 apps for your class is a free online presentation that highlights teacher tools, student tools, and literacy apps, so the kinds of apps that every teacher needs. So if this short link, goo.goals/PG9DVT, which will be included in the presentation link, will provide access to this 75 apps for your class presentation. That's a great place to get started looking for different apps.